Hello everyone, myself Mohak Tripathi from Resonance and Ventures, and today we are going to start the new topic, that is compound interest. In this topic we are going to calculate the various types of interest for the specific period of time and for the different time intervals also. Basically, in the previous classes we have studied the interest on the simple interest, that is interest can be calculated on the two types, that is simple and the compound interest. Now what is the main difference between the simple and the compound interest? In the simple interest, principal remains constant throughout the time, and in the compound interest, principal changes after a specific period of time, that is after every year there is a new compound interest. But we are going to study that somehow later. First of all, I am going to explain you what is the compound interest. Basically, first of all, let us see interest. Basically, the interest is the additional amount which we are going to pay to the lender. That is, suppose we have borrowed some money from the bank or from some personal loan. Now, if we are borrow money from a lender, that is bank, we are going to pay some additional money according to the specified term along with the borrowed money. That is, what may be the terms and conditions. We are going to pay some extra money, and that amount of extra money is going to called as the interest. So in this, when we borrow money from lender like bank or some personal loan, we have to pay some additional money according to the specified term along with the borrowed money. This additional amount is known as the interest, and the specified time is called as the time duration of that period. So the additional money which we have to pay to the lender. Lender is the person which is going to give the amount, of whom we are to lend the amount, is called interest. And the money which is borrowed is called the principal. No, the principal and the interest, if we combine it together, then the amount is equals to principal plus interest. That is, amount is the together with the principal and the interest. The principal together with interest is called amount. That is, amount can be seen as A, P is the principal and I is the interest. Now, if we talk about the interest, interest can be of two types. As I have told you before, interest is of two types. That is, can be calculated as a simple interest and it can be calculated as a compound interest. Now, we all know that the simple interest we have studied before is the formula, that is P into R into T, and compound interest we are going to study now. But what is the main difference between the simple and the compound interest is that in the simple interest, the principal amount remains constant throughout the term. That is, for example, if we have to calculate the simple interest for 4 years or for 6 years or for more years, then the the principal will be remain constant. The principal will not be changed. But in the case of compound interest, the principal always changes according to the rate of interest. That is, for if the rate of interest is compounded annually, then the principal is going to change for annually. That is, after 1 year principal will be different, after 2 years principal will be different, after 3 years principal. Therefore, the new principal will be formed after each year. That is, if the rate of interest is compounded annually. So there are two types of interest: simple interest and compound interest. If we talk about the difference, the main difference is the in case of simple interest, principal remains constant throughout. But whereas if I talk about the compound interest, in compound interest I can say that it goes on, principal goes on changing periodically. No, if the principal is goes on changing periodically, then it has to be some particular time after which changes, and that time is known as the conversion period. So basically, conversion period is that time in which the principal changes. That is after 1 year, after 2 year, that is it is changes. So first of all, let us write about what is the conversion period. The time period after which interest is added each time to form a new principal is called conversion period. And the interest obtained here, we can say that it is a interest obtained is compound interest. Now interest obtained here is, we can say that it is a compound interest. Now basically we have studied that if the principal remains the same for the specific loan period, it is known as the simple interest, and if the principal goes on changing periodically, it is called as compound interest. In the compound interest, conversion period is the particular time when the principal changes, that is new principal is formed. If suppose conversion period is for 1 year, we can say that the interest is being compounded annually. If the conversion period is for 2 years, we can say to compound it twice. Okay. I've already told you the main difference between the simple interest and compound interest. Let us see some more examples on this. Let us see the main difference between the example over here. That is, we can calculate the, if we have to calculate the find compound interest on amount of rupees 5,000 at 10% per annum for 3 years. Now, first of all, we have to calculate the compound interest on rupees 5,000 at 10% per annum for 3 years. Now, in this question, I haven't told you the formula yet, but still we are going to calculate the compound interest. Let us see how. First of all, we know that we have given the principal, that is amount of 5,000 for the rate of interest at 10% per annum, and we have given over time here is 3 years. Now, we have to calculate the compound interest, that is interest is compounded annually, and after each year the principal will be going to change. So we are going to calculate the amount for the interest for the first year. That is interest for first year is going to be equal to amount, that is 5,000 into 10 into 1 divided by 100, which is going to be equals to rupees 500. Now 500 is the interest for the first year. So after first year, amount is going to be equals to amount at end of first year is going to be equals to principal plus interest, which is equals to 5,000 plus 500, which is going to be equals to rupees 5,500. Now this is the amount at the end of first year, and as I have told you before, that in the compound interest, principal is the new principal is formed after every year. So therefore, new principal, I can say it as a principal for second year. Principal for second year is going to be equals to rupees 5,500. Now for this principal, we are going to calculate the interest. Interest for second year is equals to 5,500 into 10% is the same rate into 1 divided by 100, which is going to equals to rupees 5,550. Now this is the interest for second year. Again calculating the amount at end of second year, which is going to be equals to principal plus interest, which is equals to principal is the 5 plus 550, which is equals to 6050 rupees. Now this is the amount at the end of second year, also the principal for third year. Which is equals to rupees 6050. Now we have to calculate for the 3 years also. Now again calculating interest for the third year. Interest for the third year, which is going to be equals to the principal into rate into time divided by 100, which is equals to rupees 605. Calculating the amount at the end of third year, which is equals to the principal plus the interest, which is equals to 6655 rupees. Now this is the amount at the end of third year. We have to calculate the compound interest, and we know that the interest or the compound interest is equals to the total amount minus principal, which is total amount is we have given over is 6655, which have been calculated after the 3 years. The original principal is equals to the 5000. Subtracting this, we will going to be get as 1655 rupees. Now therefore the interest on rupees 5000 at 10% per annum for 3 years is going to be rupees 1655 only. Now this is the procedure. If you have to calculate the compound interest for 3 years, that is the principal is changing after each year. As you can see, for the principal for the first year is 5000, for the second year it is 5500, for third year is 6050. If we talk about this is the case for compound interest. If we talk about the simple interest, if suppose question asks for the simple interest, we can directly calculate as the principal into rate into time upon 100. This was the original formula in which principal doesn't change. So basically we have studied over here is the difference between the principal in the case of compound interest and simple interest. Now we will reduce the formula for both. We will also see if the interest is being when the interest is compounded annually, half yearly and quarterly, what are the formulas using which we can calculate the interest and the amount. Now we are going to study some formulas for the simple interest and compound interest. Now, first of all, we know that the simple interest is equals to the principal into rate into time divided by 100, where is R is in percent, therefore divide by is 100. It is the simple interest which is equals to principal into rate into time upon 100. If we talk about the compound interest, first of all, we have to calculate the amount. So basically we are going to solve the first of all is amount, and the formula for the amount is equals to principal into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power n, where n is the number of years and that is the time. R is the rate, P is the interest, where n is the time in years I can say it, R is the rate, it is the same for both over here, and P is the principal. Now if I have to calculate the compound interest, we know that the compound interest is equals to amount minus principal. If I put the value of the amount over here minus P, taking common as P, 1 upon R upon 100 whole power n minus 1. Therefore compound interest, formula for the compound interest will be equals to principal into 1 plus R upon 100 minus 1 principal. So this is the formula for the simple interest and the compound interest. Now if we have to calculate the compound interest, that is for the half yearly or quarterly, I am going to write the formula over here only. Now let us say when interest is compounded half yearly, that is interest is we have to calculate the interest on the half yearly basis, that is then rate is going to be equals to as r by 2% half yearly, that is interest we have to calculate as an half yearly, and time is going to be equals to double, that is 2.5 years, that is 2.5 yearly, half year. Now if I say when the interest is calculated quarterly, if I talk about when the interest is calculated compounded quarterly, then rate is going to be equals to r upon 4, that is quarterly r upon 4% per quarterly. And if I talk about the time is going to be equals to the it is we are calculating the amount is calculated, and the time will be equal to 4 and quarters, as we have done over previous 4 and quarter. No, this is the time, and this is the rate for when the interest is calculated half yearly and quarterly. Now suppose if we have given over the rate or the time is given over in the fraction, let us see over here only, that is if suppose when interest is compounded annually but time is in fraction, or I can say improper or mixed fraction also, when time is in fraction, let us say a b upon c. Now if we have given the time in fraction, that is in a mixed fraction, I have wrote down here, then first of all I am going to calculate the amount. Now amount is going to be equals to as principal into 1 plus r upon 100 and power a. A is the complete a years, that is a over here, and into 1 plus b upon c, that is the remaining time, into r upon 100. Now this is the formula when the time is given in the fraction. Let me clear you with this over example. Let us say that if the given time is in fraction, let me see another example. If suppose the given time is equals to 3 by 7 years. Now if I have to calculate over here the amount, that is amount, then amount is equals to principal 1 plus r upon 100 cube into 1 plus 3 upon 7 into rate of interest, which is divided by 100. Now this is going to be the formula when the interest is compounded and compounded annually and time is given in the fraction. We are going to study one more type of formula when we have given the interest for different years. We have given different rate of interest for different years. For example, let us say for the first year the rate of interest is compounded for 5 interest. For the second year it is going to be 7. For the third year it is going to be 8. So for different years the different rate of interest has been compounded. So for that type of formula, for that type of case, we are going to deduce a formula, that is if the rate of interest are different for different years. Let us say R1, R2, R3 for first, second, third year respectively. Then in this case amount is given by principal into 1 plus R1 upon 100 into 1 plus R2 upon 100 into 1 plus R3 upon 100 and so on. So this is the case when the interest is given as different for different years. So these are the some formulas, important formulas related to the compound interest. Now we are going to study and solve some problems, few problems related to it. Let us see some examples related to it. We have given over here, that is, we have to find the amount of rupees 8,000 for 3 years compounded annually at 5% per annum. We have to also find the compound interest. Now this is the simple problem in which we have given the principal, which is equals to as 8,000. We have given over here is the time for that is we have to calculate is 3 years, and the rate of interest given over here is 5% per annum. Just putting the values in the formula, that is amount is equals to principal into 1 plus r upon 100 whole power n. Substituting the values, we are going to equals to 1 plus 5 upon 100 whole power 3. Solving this, we are going to 8,000 into 105 upon 100 whole power 3. This is going to be equals to as 8,000 into 21 upon 20 into 21 upon 20 into 21 upon 20. Solving this, we are going to calculate the amount, that is amount is equals to as rupees 9261. Now this is the amount for the 3 years, that is 9261. We have also calculate the compound interest, which is equals to the amount minus principal, which is going to be equals to rupees 9261 minus rupees principal was 8,000, which is equals to 1261. Now this is the simple formula calculating problem. Let us see another example. In this problem, we are going, that is, we have given the find the amount of rupees 12,000 after 2 years compounded annually the rate of interest is equals to the 5% per annum during first year and the rate of interest is equals to the 6% per annum during second year. We have to calculate the amount and also find the compound interest. Now this is the problem which we have studied related to the different rate of interest for different years, which we have studied in the some important formulas. So now we in that part we have I have told you the formula for the different rate of interest for different years for the amount, which is equals to the principal into 1 plus r1 upon 100 into 1 plus r2 upon 100. Substituting the values over here, we can say that principal given over here is the 12,000. 1 plus r1 is the rate of interest for the first year, that is 5 upon 100. R2 is the rate of second year, that is 1 plus 6 upon 100. Now solving this equation, we are going to calculate, that is 12,000 into, that is 105 upon 100, that is 21 upon 20, and here it is going to be 106 upon 100, which is equals to the 53 upon 50. Solving this, we are going to calculate the amount, that is equals to rupees 13356. Now this is the value amount for the amount. Now we have to calculate the compound interest also. We know that the compound interest is amount minus principal, which is equals to 13356 minus 12,000, which is equals to 1356. Now the compound interest over this is 1356 rupees only. Let us see another example in which we have to calculate the compound interest. Find compound interest on, suppose given the on the principal given is 31250, and for the rate of interest is 8% per annum for 2 3/5 years, 2 3/4 years. Now in this question we have given over here is time is in fraction, that is a b upon c, and I have already told you the formula using to calculate the amount over there. That is amount is equals to principal into 1 plus r upon 100, but I am going to directly put the values over here. That is principal is equals to 31250 into 1 plus r over here is the rate of interest is 8%. For 2 years you have to calculate over complete years, then into 1 plus the remaining part is 3/4 into 8 upon 100. Solving this, we are going to calculate 31250 into 108 upon 100 whole square into 1 plus 426 upon 100, which is equals to 31250 into, I can say that it is written as 27 upon 25 into 27 upon 25, that is whole square, into 53 upon 50. Solving this, we are going to calculate that is amount is equals to rupees 38637, and for the compound interest I can say that compound interest calculated as amount minus principal, rupees 38637 minus principal is rupees 31250. So we are going to get the amount as 7387. Now this is the compound interest on rupees this 31250 at 8% per annum for 2 3/4 years. Now in this lecture we have almost covered the some important related formulas on the compound interest and the simple interest. We have seen the difference between the simple interest and compound interest. In the next lecture we are going to calculate some few problems related to both the simple and the compound interest, and we are going to study the growth and depreciation also.